Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining NewView and transforming the alternative investment ecosystem through technology. Thank you so much for joining us. During these webinars, our speakers will go into detail, illustrating how to streamline and automate your business for alternative investments leveraging technology. We wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from emerging leaders in the fintech world to better understand how they are impacting the alternative asset space. Housekeeping. Here's our disclaimer that I have to read. NewView Trust serves as your custodian for alternative investments. NewView does not provide tax, legal, or investment advice, nor do we sell investments. We custody IRAs, ESAs, HSAs, and 401ks that hold alternative investments chosen by the client. If you have questions, you have two options as far as submitting. One, go to your registered landing page below the live stream video. There's a form in which you can submit your questions as the presentation is ongoing. Second option is social media channels. We're streaming across many. You can comment in the chat to submit a question throughout the presentation. Please feel free to submit them at any time, and we will read through them at the very end. Today, our speakers come to us from Juniper Square. Juniper Square's industry-leading investment management software and fund administration services have combined the ability to empower advisors and their clients to unlock the full potential of private real estate investing. With over 1,700 real estate managers, clients, and a data-driven investment selection process, Juniper Square provides access to institutional real estate investments through a streamlined tech-enabled partnership platform. Their integrated investment process and customizable white label solutions are powered with due diligence and manager selection tools, direct deal and fund offerings, digital subscriptions, and transparent reporting. Our two presenters, first, Dave Jensen, who's the vice president at Juniper Square and CEO of their broker-dealer, Juniper Square Capital. He joined Juniper Square in 2022, has 15 years of capital markets and real estate investment experience, and he's held senior leadership positions at previous and various broker-dealers and real estate investment companies. And we also have Blair Amorello, operations manager at Juniper Square, helping onboard both sponsors and investors to their capital markets product. Joined Juniper Square 2.5 years ago. Previously worked in finance on the asset management side as a strategic strategist for BlackRock. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we look forward to your presentation.
Keith, thank you very much for that kind introduction. We really appreciate the opportunity to be speaking with NewView and the different financial advisors and RAs that are, in the audience today. So excited again to introduce Juniper Square, specifically talking about our private market solutions today and how that can be applicable to the financial advisors and RA space to help you improve your business and your relationship with your clients within the private market sector. So our mission is to empower GPs and LPs to unlock the full potential of their investment partnership. And many of you know the difficulties of investing in private markets, both from a technology standpoint and also just finding the right managers to work with and accessing those managers. So from the beginning of this company, we envisioned a world with radically expanded opportunities for investment and participation in the private markets. So Juniper Square, we were founded in 2014. We are a well-established company, a fintech company with extensive partnerships with over 1,700 general partner clients. Some of those are listed on the screen here in front of you. We started off focused on the commercial real estate space and have since expanded into private equity and venture capital. And over the 700 clients represent over 24,000 investment partnerships and vehicles that are managed on our platform. And that represents a little over 350,000 different LP positions and clients that utilize our platform on a daily, monthly, quarterly basis. And in total, there's over $2 trillion of assets that are on our platform today. So many of your clients might already be familiar with Juniper Square, might use our platform, our portal. And so we want to make sure that we explain that today and show you the benefits that you can use to partner with Juniper Square directly. So the company has three primary pillars of the business. The first is our investment management software side. So Juniper Square software is a platform that's very easy to use. It's I would say the premium or the platinum version in the industry. And we'll go into more detail in our demonstration with that today that Blair is going to provide. But again, there's over $2 trillion of assets that are on our platform, and that's over 1,700 different managers and GPs. The second pillar of our business is the administration services. So this provides fund accounting, investor reporting, capital call, and distribution management. We really do all the back office to enable our managers to successfully run their funds or their vehicles, be it a deal or fund of funds. This is another opportunity here that's specific to advisors and the wealth management industry, is our ability to structure and run feeder funds that really expand access for your clients, and then also a white label solution for RIAs, enabling RIAs to develop their own proprietary branded fund vehicle. It could be a fund of deals, whatever you have an interest in. That's something that we can administer and set up on your behalf. Currently, we have over 100 billion of equity capital reported through our administration services. And then finally, the third pillar is our capital markets. So this is Juniper Square's ability to offer digital subscription process to our, all our 350,000 different investors. It's seamless. It integrates with NewView and other custodians. We work with a lot of different RAs already doing our digital subscription process. And then I'm excited to announce that Juniper Square Capital is a new division that we're launching next year. It's going to be a broker-dealer pending registration there. And that's going to expand our ability to offer managers and offer investors access to our premier managers on our platform. And we can go into more detail on that later, but really excited to roll that out next year for everybody. So with that, I want to introduce Blair, and she's going to provide a live demo for you to show what the portal is capable of, how our subscription process works, and how you can use it to improve your clients' access into private markets. So with that, Blair.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everyone, for taking the time to join us today and learn a little bit more about Juniper Square. So just to start off, I wanted to give a little bit of background, and just the general history and DNA of the company has really been about enabling transparency and access to private real estate. And as a result of that, we were really best positioned to offer investment management software for RIAs. And what we found was that by combining historically discrete tasks that are located historically in different places into one location, a lot of efficiencies can be gained both by the sponsors or the GPs on the funds or deals, as well as by you, the RIA, being fully enabled to access and action different investment information dynamically 24/7. So with the help of our fund administration team that Dave mentioned, the entire life cycle really of an investment, from doing your initial diligence to making that commitment to developing a fund and actually deploying that investment, can be handled within the software. And viewing that performance and keeping all of your account information up to date for all your various investors is also very easy to do in this technology-driven approach. So today, I'm going to be giving an overview and a live demonstration using some fictitious data in one of our demo environments of what that experience actually would be like for you as the RIA to go in and make that investment decision, actually fill out a subscription agreement document, and then monitor that on an ongoing basis. So if we could switch over to the actual demonstration, that would be great. Thanks so much. Okay, so we are logged in right now to the Juniper Square portal as a fictitious investor. So I could be an RIA logging in on behalf of my investors to check on all the investments that we've made so far. So from this home landing page, I'm really able to see any new deals or funds that I need to do diligence on. So we've got 2 funds here that are highlighted as offerings for which we could do diligence and potentially actually subscribe in platform. I also have additional information on our existing investments and portfolios. So just by jumping into this homepage really quickly, I can get a full overview and understanding of our exposure and current risk and portfolio. And I can also see any recent activity that's gone on between our RIA firm and any of the sponsors that we work with. So all of that, again, in one place is really a unique aspect of Juniper Square. So from here, we're actually going to jump in and see what looking like at an offering looks like. So when we jump into the offering, I'd have the ability now to gain insight into this new fund, conduct any due diligence that I want to do. And again, all of the offerings from any different sponsor you're working with are going to be in one place, and they're going to be set up in a similar way. So you're really able to do that apples to apples comparison. We've got some pictures. We could have a video from a sponsor on here, as well as if there are any assets that are in the fund already, where those might be located, and just a broad overview of the manager. From this page, we can also look at any documents associated with marketing this fund. We have the ability to download these in bulk as well if we want to view them away. And also the ability to walk through these either with an end investor, or just if we want to restrict the access to only advisors, we can do that as well. And up at the top here, we have the ability to actually go ahead and decide that we're going to subscribe to this fund and deploy some capital. So we'll jump into that today. One thing to note is that it does save your place. So you never need to go back and find out where you were. It will save where you are, and we've actually filled this out already. So let's just start this over. So you see here, it's just 4 simple steps to complete the subscription in-app. As Dave mentioned, all of this is able to be integrated with other systems. And we have a highly flexible subscription process. So if there's different information that you need to be gathering, for example, if you're working with a custodian like NewView, we can, of course, gather all that information so that you're able to do the onboarding for both this specific fund as well as the onboarding necessary for NewView in one succinct place. So we've got our first step here, which is just going to be gathering some basic information about who is actually going to be subscribing to this fund. We've got the ability to input our commitment amount and select which account we want to be subscribing through. One thing about the software is that it does remember these details. So you would not have to fill this out repeatedly. You'll see that the details will automatically fill in and be remembered. We also have the ability to select which type of legal entity that we are subscribing through, and the questions will dynamically change accordingly. So, of course, we do have our IRA option down here and would have the appropriate questions asked down below. Finally, we'll need to add whoever needs to be signing on this, and we can add as many signatories as we need. So an example there would be maybe we need a spouse to sign, we want the advisor to sign, maybe we want the custodian to sign as well. We can include all of those signatories very easily here. And for those people that are additional signatories, like your end investors, they wouldn't have to go through this process of filling out all this account information on their own. They would just receive an email prompting them to log in, review the subscription document, and go ahead and make that signature. Also good to know that it will prompt you if you've left out any information, so there's no need to go back and gather and have that sort of back and forth. Let's take this person off. Let's see. All of our socials are a little bit messed up here. That way, all the information that we need is there, again, without any back and forth actually happening offline. The next step will just be how we want to receive our distribution payments. All of this information will also be saved down so that you don't need to continually fill this out repeatedly. If you're making a repeat investment and need the same distribution payment, just come in here and you can select that. And finally, we have the ability to include additional contacts, which is very meaningful, as we can dictate exactly who should be receiving information about this investment and what kind of information they should be receiving. So for example, here, what we've got so far is we're including a spouse. The spouse wants to receive all of this information. We're including a tax advisor. The tax advisor should only be receiving tax information. And then most notably, of course, we've got Heath from NewView, and he should be receiving any updates that he might need about what's going on in terms of transactions, but maybe not things. The newsletter doesn't need that so much, or the miscellaneous information or the asset details. What's really great about this is it means as the information is coming out in real time, it will be communicated to the contacts necessary. So there's no need to have any sort of lag where maybe a NAV statement's come out and we're not updating the custodian in real time. This will automatically update Heath at NewView as well as your end client if you want them to receiving that information. So everyone's on the same page and you never have any stale data. And that's the final step. So now all of the information that we have input will be aggregated into this investor questionnaire. And this is what will actually be signed in terms of completing the subscription. We also have the ability at this step to upload any sort of additional verification that might be needed if we have tax documents that need to be included, or if we have a driver's license that needs to be included, we could include that and upload that from here as well. And the final step would just be to sign electronically, which would again prompt all of those required signatories to log into DocuSign, make that signature, and complete the process. So again, just want to highlight really what we're doing in terms of having this platform and aggregating all the information in one place. Our hope is really that you're able to spend more time building those meaningful relationships and less time doing things like hunting down K1s, filling out subscription agreements, trying to then track down new views, onboarding information as well, and fill that out. So doing it all succinctly in one place and having this data and information available at your fingertips, we think will really bring a lot of efficiency and strengthen client relationships. And that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you so much. And we've talked a lot about this on our other webinars. We constantly have internal conversations about this. Dave, when we were at the conference, we talked about this, but all this in the direction of making sure that our investor experience is streamlined. And if there's one thing that's troublesome for financial advisors, sponsors, and others broker dealers within our realm, they don't want to have to go back to the investors twice. And certainly your platform really helps, again, streamline that process to where it just ultimately makes the investment experience what it needs to be. And there's accountability there. And it just, and I think your platform in particular is just, it's very broad. There's a lot of depth to it. And I know it makes our jobs easier here as well, because ultimately it goes back to the investor experience and how folks look at NewView and our partners and how that partnership works and is integrated. We have a couple of questions that have popped up. This is actually a question from me, but we also have some other questions coming from our viewers, which is great. But how does your platform and offerings integrate with NewView? What could you share as far as our viewers when it comes from your perspective?
I'll take that one. So, we work with a lot of different managers that take IRA money and they need to have a custodian with that. So working with NewView is a third party that we add to our subscription process. It's seamlessly integrated with subscription. And then what I really like too is both for advisors and NewView is when it comes to reporting, as Blair mentioned, we can personalize and which reports go to which individuals so that you get exactly the transparency that you need real time. And the advisors get the transparency they need real time for any positions their clients have. And so I think that just is an automated process that you set up initially, and it works for the life of that investment. And you can make modifications as necessary, but it's well integrated in our software and our portal, and it's used quite a bit across many of our managers.
Yeah, thank you. That's helpful. Okay, so we have some viewer questions that I'm going to go over right now. Can your platform and subscription process integrate with RIAs and wealth advisors, their own existing technology?
I can take this one, Dave.
Yeah.
Definitely. So everything within the system is really built to be able to be exported and imported. So we certainly have the ability to work with RIAs and wealth advisors' existing technology and get things like performance metrics and balances out of the system and wherever they need to go. In fact, we have many RIAs currently using the platform successfully with their tech stack overall. So yes, we're definitely able to and enjoy working with RIAs and advisors' existing technology.
And maybe I'll add one thing onto that, just as an expansion of that question is, with our ability to set up feeder funds, we've been able to provide access to larger institutional quality managers that maybe a wealth management group couldn't access otherwise, just because their clients can't hit the minimums. So our feeder funds allow them to aggregate their clients very seamlessly using the software and technology you saw right there. Is they can offer the offering experience to their clients directly. And one extension of that, going even further, is our ability to set up white label products or white label vehicles for an RIA directly. So they would act as the GP, could manage their investments directly, and we could provide the administration and the software package necessary to make that integrate seamlessly within their organization and their existing tech stack.
And I'm going to highlight a real life case study. When we were on the call, all of us were on the call about a week ago, right, with our local sponsor here in Orlando, and his team wanted to know how you would integrate with us, but also wanted to know, had some other questions about your adaptability. And it was really good to hear how flexible you guys can be in terms of adapting to the needs of sponsors, all the way to broker dealers, to financial advisors, to investors. So that was a very good call for me to be on, to really understand the full scope of what you guys can do. Okay, so we have another question here. So the question is, can RIAs or wealth advisors use Juniper Square's investment management software and administration services?
Yes.
I think that speaks to what I just mentioned before about the white label product and the feeder funds. So yes, we have a number of RIAs that are actually included in that 1,700 different managers. So they want to set up a fund of fund or a fund of deals and act as a GP in that vehicle. And so we partner with them, provide the administration services necessary to do all the back office work, and then they leverage the software and the portal that Blair walked through to make those offerings available throughout their client base. And so it's a proven technology that we're doing on a daily basis now.
Yeah, and that's huge for RAs too, because RAs, I've watched the migration for years. So have you, David. We discussed it at the conference. We've seen the migration from, in many cases, the wirehouses to the independent broker dealers, to now they're full RAs. There's autonomy. They're on their own island. They can make their own decisions. But now they're faced with creating building out this business model, right, that's efficient and effective, yep, and also making sure that it's supportive of their internal support as well, and that everybody's on the same page. So I'm sure they're very thankful to that as well, that you guys can build that out. Let's see. I have one more question here. Do you provide access to offerings beyond only real estate? I did have that question too, and to other alternative asset classes.
Yeah, no, great question. So as I mentioned, we started off in commercial real estate. We are probably the premier provider within that sector, but we expanded into private equity and venture capital. And so when it comes to access to our managers, you can access as an investor any of those managers through our Juniper Square Capital that's going to be launched next year. We're going to start with providing access to our top tier real estate managers and making those offerings directly to wealth advisors and their clients. Eventually, I could see that migrating over to other asset classes, but it is definitely in the cards for the future.
Yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, I'm glad that question came up, because that's a question I had as well. Let's see. That's all we have for the viewers' questions. Are there any closing remarks that you guys would like to share?
Really appreciate your time and the audience's time. Look forward to partnering with yourself further with a new view, and just continue to expand access to private real estate and private investments is our goal. And we really look forward to the year ahead, and hopefully forming partnerships with many of our viewers today. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Blair, as well. And just keep doing what you're doing. You're making us look good. So thank you. Yeah, and we appreciate your support. Again, ultimately, it's the investor experience, and every part of the ecosystem is very important, and it all has a big impact. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see everybody. Thank you, everyone, again, for taking the time to spend with us today. We've really appreciated this time with you guys in the last few weeks, going through our webinar Advisory Solutions Tech Series. If you have any questions, you can call us directly. Don't forget, also, we have our final webinar of this particular series, which will be Thursday, December 15th, where we're going to highlight AIX. And again, we've talked about it before and we've shared it, but ultimately you can view these in streaming on many different platforms. We're also going to have it within our Advisory Solutions educational portal on our website. Again, happy holidays to everyone. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.